Hi everyone, Lynn Terry here, host of the 90-Day Low Carb Challenge and travelinglowcarb.com. So I thought we would do a fun live Q&A tonight about low carb living. So any questions that you have about eating low carb, about the low carb challenge, we are just into the third week of the low carb challenge. If you need details on the fall low carb challenge, you'll find that at 90daylowcarbchallenge.com. So I would love to hear how it's going for you. If you're participating in the challenge or how long you've been eating low carb, any questions you have, and we'll just do a fun live Q&A session tonight. I happen to have some free time and I thought we would just hop on live together and have a little chat. So say hi, tell me where you're from, how long you've been eating low carb. Any questions? So we'll try this for a few minutes, or I'll talk to myself, which would be fun too. I tend to do that a lot anyway. You probably just don't realize that. Oh, and I found the promo code. By the way, a lot of you could not find the promo code when you were trying to get it for Keto Crate, so I found that and I put it in the description there. So in case you didn't see it, the promo code. Now you have it. All right, so what did you eat today? I had leftovers this morning, so I finally ate the rest of that amazing cookie, the huge cookie from No Foods, the low-carb chocolate chip cookie. And then I had the rest of my chicken and broccoli for dinner, which was that I had for dinner last night, and I had that for breakfast. And then for later this afternoon, lunch, dinner, whatever you want to call it, I just eat whenever I'm hungry, I had my favorite cereal made with pecans, cottage cheese, and strawberries. Tara said, are you happy with Keto Crate? Yes. I have kind of a love affair with Keto Crate. Of course, I've been working with them for over a year now. It was a year ago, July, I think. And so I've been getting it every single month for a year. And I have to tell you, it is the highlight of my month. It's like getting a birthday box. That's what I consider it. I'm always get really excited to see, like, what are we going to get, and some boxes are better than others. Those of you who subscribe to Keto Crate, you would agree, right? Like, some boxes are like, wow, everything in it is so amazing. And some boxes are, it's good, but it's not like, rocking my socks or whatever. Tara said I should get it too. One of the things I really love about them, by the way, you can see it in the background here behind me. One of the things I love is they went gluten-free. And I'm not necessarily gluten-free myself, but a lot of my friends are, which is really nice because when they come over, I'll, share my treats with them or what have you. Rebecca said, I love your cereal. So do I. I literally eat that almost every single day, and there are a couple of reasons I do. And for those of you who aren't familiar, that means you're probably not getting my food diaries at travelinglowcarb.com, or you're not seeing my updates on my Facebook page at facebook.com/lowcarbtraveler, or on Instagram. I'm on Instagram too, instagram.com/lowcarbtraveler. Anyway, so I eat this almost every day. I think people get tired of looking at it, but it's just half a cup of pecans, exactly 60 grams, a quarter cup of Daisy brand cottage cheese, and I'm not affiliated or associated with Daisy brand in any way, but if you go to the grocery store, there's like an entire wall of cottage cheese. And this is how I discovered Daisy brand. I was looking at labels trying to find the one with the lowest carb count, and what I noticed was Daisy brand has like 3 ingredients, whereas every other brand on the shelf has this whole paragraph of ingredients I don't even recognize. So I'm like, okay, Daisy brand it is. And people say, I don't like cottage cheese. What can I eat in place of cottage cheese with that? And you could try low-carb yogurt, ricotta cheese, cream cheese. You could try basically anything you want. However, I don't like cottage cheese either. And when you mix half a cup of pecans and a quarter cup, it's a very small amount, half a serving of Daisy brand cottage cheese, which, by the way, does not have a strong flavor to it. And you add like 4 small diced strawberries and maybe half a serving or 18 grams of blueberries. The crunch, the texture, and the flavor combination of the nuts and berries just totally take over. So it just works. Trust me, it just works. Where did I get my shirt? Who asked that? Okay. Where did I get my shirt? I made it. And I used to sell them, but they're not available anymore. But I have a lot of different kinds. Like one of them says, "You had me at bacon," and there are a couple of other ones. So if you guys are interested, I can bring them back. I made them for a giveaway for our low carb challenge group a few years ago, and I like stocked up on them. So I actually lost money doing the giveaway, a lot of money, but it was so much fun. And so, but yeah, that's left over from that giveaway from a couple of years ago. So maybe I'll bring them back. Let's see here. Rebecca said, "I love your cereal." That's what got me off on the tangent with that. And let me go back and say why I eat that almost every day. Because it has the perfect low carb, high fat macros. So if you're not aware or familiar, if you're kind of new, the ideal macros on a low carb diet, a ketogenic low carb diet, is low carb, high fat. So the ideal macros are 20 net carbs max, 70% fat minimum, 25% protein maximum. And anyway, so this cereal is 5 net carbs. I say cereal. It's like a bowl full of deliciousness. But it's 5 net carbs. It's all real food, whole food, especially if you use Daisy brand cottage cheese. And it's 85% healthy fats from the pecans, which is great. Plus, it's very filling. It's very delicious. It's amazing. I love it. Tara was wondering if the keto crates vary by month. That was interesting. Yes, they do vary by month. You know, anybody who's been subscribed to them for any amount of time will notice that, they're different products every single time. And one of the things I do is I review every single box. So I say, here are the products that came in it. Here's the cheapest places to order those products if you don't want to subscribe to Keto Crate, and all that kind of fun stuff. So those are all on my blog at travelinglowcarb.com. And if you go there now, the second post today at this moment is the review for the September Keto Crate. And at the top of that, I moved it. At the bottom of that post, at the end of that post, after I tell you what's in the crate, I give you links to every Keto Crate all the way back to a year ago, July. So you can kind of go through, if you're curious what the different crates are like month by month. You can see them all on my blog, every single one of them, like with a detailed breakdown of what's in them. It's also, if you don't want to subscribe to Keto Crate, that's a great way. Sorry for shaking the table. That's a great way to just find low-carb foods that you might like or what have you. Shady Lynn said, "I love your hiking buddy, your dog." So I have 2 hiking buddies. And my dog, he's asleep right now. He's an old man. I have a Great Dane, little bitty guy. Hi, Janet. Jane said, "Hi, Lynn. Love getting all this info from you." Thank you so much, Jane, because I love doing it. This is so much fun, and especially because we have such an amazing low-carb community here in the group, around the web, everywhere, even on my blog, the people who comment there. Every time you guys post something or leave a comment or even just like or share, I notice that. Like, I personally manage everything. I have a couple of moderators and administrators that help me out because it's a little bit overwhelming. But I notice everything, and you guys make my day every day. I think it's absolutely amazing. Let's see. Donna said, "What is Keto Crate?" It's amazing. I don't want to make this a commercial about Keto Crate. I did a live video a couple of nights ago actually about the September Keto Crate because it's so good. And I will tell you that they still have some September Keto Crates available. They are shipping the next batch on Tuesday. And so if you hurry up before they sell out, because they will sell out before Tuesday, you can get one. You just have to go to travelinglowcarb.com/crate. And I'll tell you a little secret. You can get $5 off if you put this promo code in. FIVE, 5, like $5, 2017. So use that promo code at travelinglowcarb.com/crate, KRATE. If you look in the description, here on this video, I actually put that note in there because a lot of people could not find the promo code, and I love savings. Savings are good. Let's see. So I'm just going to scroll up here and see if I missed any questions. I want to answer every single question while I can here real quick. I have this weird background thing that makes it hard to read your comments, so I'm having to squint a little bit, so just bear with me. Questions. I would love to hear what your how things are going with your low carb diet. How long have you been eating low carb? What are your results? How are you feeling? Anything that you find particularly tough or challenging? Sandra said you're amazing. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you. I love low carb. Janet said, so after you reach goal, is there a maintenance or do you always stay on keto and never eat bread again? I love bread. Are you kidding me? There is low carb bread and there is bad low carb bread. There's low carb bread that will knock you out of ketosis. There's low carb bread that will spike your blood sugar. There's low carb bread that will bloat you and stall your weight loss. There is low carb bread that tastes so bad that I would rather go out in my front yard and lick the dirt than eat it. So you have to be really, really careful because some of them have gotten in legal trouble for bad labeling diabetics especially, like have had some real issues with low carb bread. Anyway, there is good low carb bread and it is so amazing and it makes the best low carb grilled cheese sandwich ever. But the only one that I'll personally buy or use or recommend to anyone is travelinglowcarb.com/bread. It is not gluten-free. However, my vegan, gluten-free fellow keto bodybuilder likes it, and he will eat that as an exception as far as a product that is not gluten-free. He says it is amazing. And he also does not eat any bread products, nothing breaded, nothing like that at all. But he will even eat that bread. He looked at the ingredients. He's like a label junkie. And he was like, yeah, that's good stuff. So that's at travelinglowcarb.com/bread. I just have to make short links for you because otherwise there's no way I could say it. It's, how links get really long sometimes. Okay, so Janet, going back to never eating bread again, forget that. We have bread. So there's that. And my thing is ice cream. I love ice cream. And I was telling a story on Instagram Live, and unfortunately that disappeared, so you can't watch it anymore. But I was telling this really funny story about ice cream. But here's the thing. Since Halo Top Creamery hit the market with their low-carb ice cream in like a gabillion flavors, I've never had to go off track again. I can stay low carb and stay in ketosis consistently for the rest of my life. Thank you, Halo. It is so good. And I'm not affiliated or associated with them in any way either. But I love mocha chip, mint chip, and peanut butter cup. Those are my 3 favorite flavors. Halo Top Creamery. You look for it at Kroger. And I'll tell you why. Because Kroger has the best selection, the most flavors, and the lowest prices. They have sales on it all the time. Anyway, going back to your question, sorry. After you reach goal, is there a maintenance or do you always stay on keto? And I don't know yet. One of these days I'm going to find that out. But I'll answer your question. I will stay in ketosis. I will stay on a keto diet for life for 2 reasons. I originally started eating low carb just to lose weight, like most people. I'm like, I want to lose weight, and I'm going low carb because I've been told I can eat as much bacon as I want and still lose weight. So I'm like, I'm in. And so I originally just started low carb to lose weight. At that point in my life, not only was I extremely overweight, but I was also in chronic pain. I had a car accident. I was in a car accident as a passenger when I was 20. I was young and had a head trauma. So I hit the windshield at 125 miles an hour. And I was paralyzed, and I was scarred horribly. It was a horrific accident. So I was blind, I was deaf, I was paralyzed. They said I would never work again, for sure, and may not ever get out of bed again. So I had a miraculous recovery. I'm a softie. I'll get all teared up telling you this story. I had a miraculous recovery. And I'll just skip the sappy details or whatever, but just to say that I have this huge appreciation for life, and it is, by the way, World Gratitude Day. So at any rate, I feel very grateful to have recovered from that. But I am still deaf on one side. I have a lot of nerve damage. I can't feel this at all. But I had inflammatory arthritis in my lower back that really flared up in my 30s with age from the accident. So I was in chronic pain to the point that there were days I couldn't even lift my own coffee cup to my mouth. I couldn't get it all the way to my mouth. I couldn't bend over far enough to brush my teeth or do simple things like wash dishes. So I was bedridden a lot. I saw a chiropractor 3 or 4 times a week for different types of therapies, electronic therapy, massage therapy, all kinds of stuff. I was on pain medication at some points in my life and really, really struggled with the pain. So at any rate, I went low carb just to lose weight. But I noticed about, I don't know, maybe it was the first month or the second month. But by the third month, I realized I wasn't in pain. Like I just realized, it just kind of hit me one day. I'm like, I'm out of pain. And I researched it and discovered that carbs and sugar promote inflammation in the body. And that a lot of people had experienced the same thing. They're all of a sudden, if you have arthritis or any kind of inflammation, fibromyalgia, anything like that, all of a sudden you realize I'm out of pain. It's the best thing ever. I got back on a water ski for the first time in 23 years, for the first time since the accident. So I've been water skiing and hiking and rock climbing, and I'm like, I can live an active, fun lifestyle again. So for me, even when I hit my goal weight, I will stay ketogenic, low carb. But to answer your question about maintenance, I don't know yet. I haven't quite hit that phase yet. But what Atkins recommends is that once you hit your goal weight or your ideal weight, if you figure out what that is on the scales, when you're gaining muscle weight and losing body fat, and you get to that ideal mix of whatever number that ends up being, Atkins recommends you add in 10 carbs per week or once every 2 weeks, that you raise it 10 carbs at a time. Healthy carbs only, so that would be more green vegetables and more berries is how I would do it. But anyway, they recommend until you find your limit or your point or whatever. Where to go again for the bread, Jennifer? It is travelinglowcarb.com/bread. If somebody would be nice enough to type that in, that would be great. Travelinglowcarb.com/bread. And I'll come back after we get done here and give you the link to my post so you can see my grilled cheese. Because my low carb grilled cheese, oh my gosh. Yeah, it will make you so happy. Judy said, I love your shirt. Thank you. I made that. Janet said, I'm so glad you recovered. Sorry if my question conjectured up bad memories. Not at all. And let me just say that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And a lot of times you'll discover in your life some of the absolute worst things that happen to you, some of the toughest turning points you ever go through in your life, turn out to be the beginning of the best thing. Like they turn out to be the better thing that could have happened to you, the way they change your life. And so I look back on that, and I lost my memory, so I had absolutely no recollection of anything in my life prior to being 20. And so I have regressive memory loss, by the way. So that makes my job a little bit tough sometimes, but I still have that. So I just started getting my memories back in my 30s, which was interesting because you know how you spend your 20s like being mad at your parents or resenting them or like blaming everything that is wrong in your life on your past or whatever. Well, I didn't have that. I was blank. So I didn't start getting my memories back until I was in my 30s. And by then, it was more like they were dreams, and I didn't have that emotional connection to them, which was good. But stress is a tough thing. Like when you go through hard times and you're going through big turning points or what have you, I think the way you deal with it, it makes all the difference in the world in terms of how you recover and what kind of turning point it results in your life. That's one of the reasons I talk about ways to get over emotional overeating or stress eating or binge eating, because I did that for years. And I will tell you that it never made me happy. I lied to myself. I told myself things like, this is my pleasure. This is the only thing I have, in my life right now because everything else is crazy. And it never treated me well. It never fixed anything. It never brought back anything I lost. And I realized it was really self-punishment and self-sabotage. And I also realized having one thing in my life that I can control, that works for me, that I can get positive results from, when everything else, I can just I can't seem to get anything to work or stick, like let's say a relationship, or if I'm going through a tough time with my teenager, or, the house is falling down around me, I don't know, the sky is falling or whatever. My health, I can control. And it's nice to have just one thing that is mine, that truly is. And it's it's an amazing feeling. It's grounding. to use a foo-foo word. I'm not really a foo-foo person. Um, April said, have you tried any of the flavors of the bread? My favorite flavor is the everything bread. They have sourdough, rye, all that kind of stuff, but my absolute favorite flavor is the everything bread. But you put the wrong link in there, actually. It's travelinglowcarb.com/bread. That would be good because then it tracks from Nutrition and it tells them that you came from this group. And I work with Kathy and I work with Nutrition, but I work specifically with Kathy at Nutrition. And what she does is she allows me to ask you guys what you want me to try, and she'll send it to me to review for you. So I've done a lot of nutrition reviews for you guys, like the horrible oatmeal. That was so bad. Everybody was like, find us a low-carb oatmeal, and I could not choke that down. It was so bad. If anybody wants the link to the horrible oatmeal, let me know, and I will come back and post the link to it. The things I eat for you guys. Seriously. But at any rate, so I do this with them, and they really support our group. They really support our community, so it's important that we use the special link so that they know where you came from. Naomi, good question. Can you use the bread when you're first starting out? You can. It's only one carb per slice, one net carb per slice, sorry. And yes, I've used it from the beginning. Yeah. Let's see. I think I probably missed some questions. So I will just double check up here real quick. Oh, that's a good one. I missed that one from Jennifer. Jennifer said, I'm new to keto. Where do I start? So I want to tell you that you will get so much advice, and it can be confusing and complicated and overwhelming. So I'm going to tell you that to keep it super simple. And that's how I started. And if it had been complicated or overwhelming, or if someone told me you have to meal prep and you have to plan and you have to do this and that, I never would have been able to do it. And I still wouldn't do it. I keep bumping the table. Anyway, so keep it super simple. To start, it's 20 net carbs per day max, 70% fat minimum. But you basically just want to eat meat and greens and healthy fats. And if you go to my site, you can see it on the screen. It is, am I pointing in the right direction? Travelinglowcarb.com. There's a getting started checklist that's right there on my site. That is extremely helpful. I also have low carb classes. And if you go to my blog there, you'll see classes at the top. So there are 5 classes that you can take if you really want kind of a really good fast track education. But the Getting Started checklist is the best place to start. And if you have any questions, you can ask them here in this group. Janet said, I started on January 1st and so far have lost 56.5 pounds. I have 34 more to go. This always gets me teared up when you guys tell these success stories. That is amazing. 56.5 pounds this year already. That is amazing. How does that feel? That's what I want to know. How does that feel? Because I've lost 63 pounds and I feel like a completely different person. I feel like a new person altogether. It is the craziest thing to look in the mirror. Actually, when I look in the mirror, that's not the same. Like, I still see my before picture when I look in the mirror. It's when I see photos of myself, it's really surreal. I'm like, wow, I have seriously transformed into a different person. It feels really good. Abby said, I have been doing this for 17 days and I've lost 10 pounds from, I can't read this part. I've been stalled since practically last December, so I'm so happy. That is awesomely amazing. So congratulations, 10 pounds in 17 days. Now let me address this super quick as an issue because we're in the 3rd week of the challenge and a lot of you may be experiencing holds and fluctuations in your weight loss at this point. So when you first start low carb, it's a diuretic process to getting into ketosis. So naturally you lose water weight right in the beginning, which is great because you're not bloated. And I call it keto lean, and you're feeling like, oh, I got all that water weight off of me. So what happens after the 1st week or maybe the 2nd week, and it happens like week 2 and or week 3, is all of a sudden, like you're losing weight, and all of a sudden it's like, it stops. And so it's like your weight just holds. And that is totally normal. It happens to everyone in week 2 and or week 3. The reason is because losing that much weight that fast, even if it's depending on your size, it's really by percentage, not by number of pounds. So for me, if I lose 2 pounds super fast, I go into a little bit of a hold phase because I'm closer to goal weight. Anyway, what happens is your body kind of like freaks out, and this is not the technical term. Your body, it's a lot of weight to lose in a short period of time. So your body goes into hold, to kind of process that. It has to catch up. And again, not the technical terms, but it's a totally normal thing. It's just that your body has to process losing that much weight at once. So my advice is always don't try any tricks. Don't do anything crazy. Stop dieting and just keep doing what's obviously working. If you changed anything now, then you should change back to what was working. But otherwise, just keep doing what was obviously working for you. All right, so I'm going to scroll down here real quick and see. I would love to answer every single question I possibly can, but I don't have a whole lot of time. So but I want to answer every question I can. Let's see here. Naomi said, I remember you gagging down Quest chips with tuna. That's so funny. They're not bad, but like even my dog wouldn't eat them. But if you would like really wanted a potato chip, I suppose it's the closest thing you could possibly get to one. But yeah, my dog wouldn't eat them. He finally did eat one. It was just like he smelled them. It was like me. They smell funny. He smelled it and he's like, no thanks. Viv said, what's the difference, or is there a difference in low carb and keto? I love that question. A lot of people define them differently, which is weird to me. So you can go low carb or can be considered low carb at 100 carbs a day. Like let's say a lot of diabetics, their doctor will say don't eat any more than 100 carbs a day. That's considered low carb, relatively speaking, like relative to what most people eat in terms of carbs in a day. That said, it's not like the ketogenic low carb diet is very low carb. It's also low carb, high fat. So a ketogenic diet is very low carb, very high fat, moderate protein. That doesn't mean you're not getting probably more than the recommended amount of protein every day because it has to go by percentages. You can't go by grams because some proteins are also fats. Like eggs are 50% protein, 50% fat. Salmon is a protein that's also a fat. Nuts are protein and fat. And so it's important to understand like that a ketogenic low carb diet is what you want to do for weight loss and for health issues. So going keto, which is 20 net carbs max, 70% fat minimum, what happens is, you know how people say you need carbs for energy. That's not healthy. That's not actually true. You have two options. You can run your body on carbs and sugar, which means you spike your blood sugar and then it tanks. And that's why you feel that carb coma and you're like, I need a nap. Or you can run your body on healthy fats as fuel. So it's kind of like the difference for a Southern girl, I like trucks, that it's kind of like the difference between running your truck on gas or diesel. You have the option, like you can get a gas, driven truck or a diesel. And so healthy fats, your body and your brain actually run much better on healthy fats than they do on carbs and sugar. So what happens when you limit your carbs that low to 20 net carbs max per day, that's why you have to do at least 70% fat, because that becomes your fuel, your energy. Otherwise, you'll feel sluggish and you'll stall your weight loss if you don't eat, healthy fats. Anyway, what happens when you limit your carbs that low is your body is forced to switch into ketosis and burn fat for energy instead of carbs and sugar. That's why you go through what's called the keto flu, because it's a huge transition. I mean, imagine taking your engine from gas to diesel. That's a huge transition, right? So your body, it's a chemical process your body has to go through to get into ketosis. It's a diuretic process also, so you'll experience, like the first day, like 3 or 4 days into going super low carb, you probably will notice like you get up and pee for a very long time. And you're like, well, I won't say that. Anyway, so, and then in addition to that, you feel what I call keto lean because the water weight's gone. But in addition to that, you may experience extreme headaches, insomnia, and leg cramps, which are feel like dehydration. And you'll also experience those things if you drink too much water. but we'll get into that another time. Hi, Erica. Tracy said, my knees hurt so bad. How long have you been like eating a ketogenic low carb diet, like consistently 20 net carbs max? Janet said, it feels wonderful. My knees. Thank me. Yes, I know. It's so great. Who asked that? Janet asked, what are your favorite greens? Well, I will say that I love broccoli. I liked broccoli before I went low carb. I never liked spinach ever, but now I love spinach. Specifically like to hide it in things or use it to cook. So I will cook spinach into meatballs. So I'll make spinach meatballs. I'll make spinach bread. Let me know if you want the recipes. Like just say spinach bread recipe in the comments and I'll come back and post that. But I will make low carb biscuits and I'll like just make them green practically. So I hide spinach in like pretty much everything. It's great. What else? Oh, I love asparagus, roasted asparagus. I like it crisp or I like it steamed. Like I like it roasted crisp or I like it steamed because I like it. Oh, and green beans when they're still crunchy. Love those. Viv said, do you watch your protein on a low carb? Yes. Yes, you need to keep your protein at 25% of your total daily calories or less. That doesn't mean, again, that you're not getting at least the minimum amount of protein a woman should have or a person should have in a day, but it's by percentages and ratios. You should limit it 25%. If you eat high protein, I don't care if you're on low carb or not, on any diet, high protein is going to hurt your kidneys. It can cause things like UTIs, kidney stones. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but it's bad to eat high protein. You might find yourself constipated also. But yeah, you want to keep your protein at 25% max of your total daily calories. Naomi said, I am hypothyroid and someone told me that dark greens are bad for that. Any clue? I am not sure. Anyone else know? I think dark greens are amazing. Speaking of, let's talk about food colors. So did you know the more colorful the food, the higher the nutrient value? I just discovered that like a couple of years ago. So it got me like really interested when I go and I'm looking like at the farmer's market or in the produce section. I want the most colorful things. So I want the reddest strawberries and the purplest blueberries and the greenest greens I can find. But yeah, so the more colorful your food, the more nutrients it has. So if you're going to eat a tomato, which you can enjoy in moderation, like I might have a quarter cup of diced tomatoes or something like on a taco salad or something like that, you want the reddest tomato you can get. So color is good. Red is good. But I'm not sure about the answer to your question. Sorry for going off track there a little bit. So I'm going to scroll up and I answered Viv's question about protein. Naomi said, do you still like the Quest bar or any other bar that's easy to grab? I will tell you my current favorite is the Keto Brownie. And don't think it's a brownie because it's not a brownie, it's a nutrition bar. And I'll tell you why it's my favorite. It does not have any sugar alcohol. And so it's ketobrownie.com and it's a brand new product. The guy just released it in June. And I went through a whole box, like 12 of them. They were so good. I think I let Aaron have 2 of them, but I ate at least 10 of them. And it did not stall my weight loss, no bloating, no spike in my blood sugar, none of that weird stuff. But they have no sugar alcohols. So they have kind of a rich cocoa flavor. They're chewy. They're not hard. They don't break your teeth. And they have really good ingredients. So that's at ketobrownie.com. But they're not brownies. They are nutrition bars. I will, like in a pinch, like on my trip week before last, I'll eat an Atkins bar. I bought a box of peanut butter granola. I like those, the peanut butter granola Atkins bars. They are frankenfood in my book. They're fake food. They are full of bad ingredients. But in a pinch, I'll eat those bars. And I do love Quest bars. And Quest, everybody's preference is different. Some people, it stalls their weight loss, so it's something you really just have to test. Dawn said, I can't stand that brownie, but I'm eating them anyway. So if you have some left, don't force yourself to eat those. Like, message me, I'll buy them from you. I love them. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They have a very nice rich cocoa flavor. They're not overly sweet. They're like, they don't taste really sweet at all. They have no aftertaste because they have no sugar alcohol in them. So I was in love with those. So this is fun. You guys have such great questions, and it's fun to do this live with you. I don't know if we could do it maybe at least once a week. That would be awesome. Any questions or thoughts? How many of you got, I want to know, how many of you got to try the no cookie? The one, did you guys see my last video I did like night before last? That I did here in the group. So it's been in the group for the last 2 days. And I was talking about the cookie that's the size of my face. How many of you guys saw that? And I was dying to eat that cookie, but I had to wait until after I showed it to you guys. So I finally ate it. And I want to know how many of you get the keto crate. So you got that cookie and ate it too. Dawn said the cookie rocked. The cookie was awesome. It's like a meal replacement. Like I would eat that instead of like a bar or for something on the go or whatever. They're huge. It's like the size of my head. And it is literally like almost 400 calories for one cookie, and they're huge. And they're so good, like chewy or whatever. So I'm talking about the no cookie. And if you didn't see it, go to travelinglowcarb.com/cookie. If somebody will pop that link in there real quick so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Tracy said, where can I find your videos? The last live video I did here in this group is still in the group, or if you pop over to my Facebook page, travelinglowcarb.com. Nope, that's wrong. Facebook.com/lowcarbtraveler. If somebody will pop that link in for me, that would be awesome. Facebook.com/lowcarbtraveler. You can click on the videos, and I recorded the last one that I did live here in the group, and it's over there on my page. So if you missed that and you can't find it, you can find it on my page. Oh, they don't ship to the UK. Oh, Abby. I wonder what like customs would think if I brought you some. I've had some fun incidents at customs. I am low carb traveler. That's what I do. Customs. Oh, Canada especially. I don't know why they give me such a hard time. I love Canada. I love Canadians. My best friend is Canadian. I call her my Canadian sister, and we lost a lot of weight together, and she's low carb now too. And but I've had some interesting incidents with customs. Dawn said my sweetie is the pickiest eater and loved that cookie. We split it. I did not share mine. I had only eaten half of my cookie, and when Aaron came over for date night to get me to take me to dinner last night, I hid the other half. So let me just say, Dawn, you're a better woman than I am. I admire you for sharing it. I mean, it was that good. Let's see. Oh, Dawn said, I love it. I think it might be a good breakfast replacement. Yes. Oh, the cookie. Travelinglowcarb.com/cookie. Yes. So I'm going to get with them. They also have donuts. So if you go to that site, if you go to my link and you check it out, they also have donuts. I don't know the nutrition facts or ingredients on those. I haven't checked them out yet, but I believe they're gluten-free. So I'm going to be testing those as well. Oh, it was amazing. So if you haven't, you can still get the keto crate. Here's the deal. So if you go to travelinglowcarb.com/cookie, what we're just talking about, this amazing cookie that's like the size of my face, it's $10 for 4 cookies. Now, somebody complained about that, and I'm like, they're huge. They're 400 calories each. An Atkins bar is like less than 200 calories, and it's for 5 of those is $10. So it's like the same price, except better ingredients. I haven't tried any other no food products yet. Facebook.com/lowcarbtraveler. That is my Facebook page. And so what was I going to say? All right. So it's $10 for 4 cookies. And, but if you get the September Keto Crate, the cookie comes in it. And the September Keto Crate also has that amazing Swedish nougat cream, the hazelnut chocolate cream that's $13 a jar. So, and you would pay shipping on both from 2 different companies. And there's like 7 other products. I went through like all of them in the last video in great detail, but they still have the September Keto Crate. And if you hurry, they're going to ship the next batch of the September box on Tuesday. So you get the cookie, you get the cream. Hang on. This one. This stuff is so good. You see that? I don't know. I can't get it in there. There we go. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so amazing. There's no aftertaste to it whatsoever. I'm making a chocolate hazelnut cheesecake thingamajig with it. It's going to be amazingly awesome. Anyway, so you can get, here's the deal though. This is $13, this little bitty jar. The cookies are like $10. And then there's like the grass-fed beef. There's the specialty pistachios. There's the Rome stick. There's the pumpkin seeds. There's all kinds of good stuff in this one box. And I have a coupon code for it. So you can go to travelinglowcarb.com/crate, Krate, and use this coupon code, and you will get $5 off. And it is a subscription, a monthly subscription, but you're not stuck in a contract. There's absolutely no contract. So if you just want the September box, go to travelinglowcarb.com/crate, use the coupon code, here it is again, and get $5 off of it. And you can cancel anytime. So if you just want to get the September box, you want to hurry and do that because they'll sell out super fast, and they're shipping the next one out on Tuesday. But that's actually a better deal. You get to try the cookie. You get to try all the other stuff. It was the best box ever. It was my favorite Keto Crate box ever. And so that's what I would recommend doing. And then if you love the cookie, then I would order more. I'm ordering more. I'm going to try them in every single flavor. I'm going to probably eat them for every meal for like 2 or 3 days. They were really, really good. And they don't have any sugar alcohol. No sugar alcohols. So if you just want the cookie, that's fine too. But like no sugar alcohols. There were a lot of questions about the nutrition facts because they use allulose. And so they're required to label that as sugar, but it doesn't have any sugar alcohol, any at all. Erica Wood said, how much is the Keto Crate subscription? It's $34.95 a month. And there's your discount code for the first month. So you can get the September box cheaper. But for $35, it's a much better deal than, like, if you tried to order all 7 of those products individually, most of them are not sold individually. So if you go to buy the cookie, for example, you have to buy a box of 4. If you go to buy the Rome sticks, you have to buy, like, a whole case or a whole box. So it was $119 and change. Because I calculate the price comparison every single month on my blog. So if you go to travelinglowcarb.com, it's the second post right now. You'll see where I detailed out where's the cheapest place to order any of these products individually. And if you wanted to try to do that, it would have cost me over $119, almost $120. So that makes the Keto Crate a really good deal because they are specialty products. Like this cream is from Sweden and $12.99 for this little bitty jar. There's no, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't pay that if I was in love with it and like wanted to like take it, and cuddle it. And it's like, if I loved it, I wouldn't pay that much for it. And that's not even including shipping. Okay. So $13 for that. So that's what I love about Keto Crate. It does end up being a really good value. Plus I get to mix things up in the kitchen, which is nice. Because, otherwise I would just eat eggs and pecans and eggs and pecans and eggs and pecans, except when I'm traveling. Thank goodness for traveling, where I can actually get some really good food. All right, questions, comments? Oh, Dawn said, do you have a preference between Keto Crate and the Keto Box? My personal preference is Keto Crate. So, and that's for a couple of reasons. I like the Keto Box, by the way, and it's really nice. I mean, if you can afford to get 2 different boxes, I say go for it. But I've been working with Keto Crate for over a year now. So it's been a year ago, July. So that's been a while. They've been very consistent. They have a policy of all gluten-free. Every product is gluten-free. They have a no maltitol policy. They will never send you a product that has maltitol in it. They have a 5 net carbs or less per serving policy. They will never send you a product that's more than 5 net carbs per serving. They are very strict, and they really go out and source the absolute best products for us. So I'm happy with that. Now, the Keto Box, I haven't come across, I don't know if I've come across anything with maltitol in it there, but they don't specifically state those facts. Dawn said I was going to sign up, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, they're also Canadian, and so they're like they're just really cool people, like as Canadians are. If you're Canadian, I love you. Just because you're Canadian, is that? I don't know. That's probably wrong. Anyway, they're really good people. They really have supported our work here. So, yeah, I'm behind them 100%. Plus, we have coupon codes. So, travelinglowcarb.com/crate, Krate, and you can use this coupon code to get $5 off your box. But again, you don't have to keep it. Like if you just want the September box, then you can sign up and then you can cancel anytime, or you can try it for a few months or whatever you want to do. Rebecca said, thanks for the yummy Good D's brownie recipe with peanut butter and pecans. You've helped me try new things. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for that, Rebecca. That was a great recipe. And the blondies. Oh my gosh. I prefer the blondies over the brownies since she came out with that mix. And if you have not seen my version of Good D's Blondies, go to my recipe. This will take you to my recipe. travelinglowcarb.com/blondies. Yum. And on that same page, I link to the recipe for my brownies. And I started putting walnuts instead of pecans in the brownies. It made them even better. They're really good. But yeah, oh my gosh, her mixes are amazing. I'm about to review her muffin mix. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to have low-carb blueberry muffins. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. I hope you guys are having a great day or night, and really want to just encourage and inspire you to do this for yourself. You are so worth it. Going low-carb is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I love this community that we have. We have such an amazing group, and just want to say thank you all for your participation in the group, for helping other people out, for sharing your meals, for answering questions, for asking questions. And you know why I say thank you for asking questions? Because every question you ask is something someone else was too shy to ask, or just didn't want to ask out loud, or felt like they would be judged, or what have you. It helps so many people when you do that, so thank you. Dawn said, do you have any good bread recipes with protein powder? I've never used protein powder before. People ask me that all the time, but I don't know why would you use it. I mean, and I'm asking for a legitimate. I don't know. Someone sent me some protein powder to review, and I don't even know what to do with it. What would you use it for, or why would you use it? The low carb bread I make is really super simple. It only has a few ingredients, and I use almond meal, eggs, butter, and finely shredded Parmesan. If you want the recipe, tag me in the comments. I'll come back, or just comment bread recipe, please. I make the best biscuits with that, like really good biscuits. And have you seen the honey almond biscuits I make with that? Oh, Dawn said just to get extra protein, and I'm not fond of the real eggy ones. Yeah, mine are not eggy. So you don't need extra protein. You don't want to eat high protein. So what you want to eat, 25% protein max. So you don't want to go over 25% protein. And you'll get plenty of protein, even if you're vegetarian, or whatever. There's plenty of ways to get protein, like cheese, heavy cream, all your dairies have protein in them, nuts, and things like that. And of course, there's things like salmon and shrimp, like, even like with Aaron, he's mostly pescatarian, and he's like a keto bodybuilder, so he gets tons of protein. But I don't know what to do with protein powder. Good question. Or why you would use it. Like, I wouldn't add a non-food to my food on purpose. Dawn said I stick to 25% and am post-gastric bypass and struggle to get all. Oh, with your protein. So you would want to eat, like, specific proteins. Like, make sure you add protein. Just try real food proteins. I would say, especially if you're post-surgery, I would be really, really kind to your tummy and stick with the real food thing. Yeah. I'm not sure, I could, because I haven't been there. I haven't been through that. So I know that's a whole different thing, post-surgery, weight loss surgery. And so I'm not really sure about that in regards to that. But I don't know what's in protein powder. Is it healthy? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So other people could probably be more helpful than me. But yeah, if you could take like my bread recipe and add anything you want to it. It's the most forgiving recipe ever. So if you wanted to add a scoop to it, that would be fine. But I will say that my low carb bread recipe is high calorie. It has good macros. It's high fat, has protein in it as well, etc. Because it has almonds and eggs and Parmesan in it and stuff. So it's a good source of protein and healthy fats. However, it's going to be heavy. Like, I don't know if you can only eat small amounts of food at a time or whatever. The bread and the biscuits are more of a heavy food, which I crave sometimes, being Southern, especially like biscuits and breads and things like that. All right, so we'll wrap this up. I had so much fun. You guys asked the best questions, and hopefully somebody else can help out with protein powder recipes. I'm sure there are tons of them, but I think even with my recipe, I'll come back and give you the link to it. But even with my bread recipe, oh, you can see my goofy leggings. Sorry. Even with my bread recipe, you could add anything you want to it. It's the most forgiving recipe. Trust me, if I make it, if it comes out of my kitchen, it's super easy and super forgiving. You can't screw it up, or I would. All right, you guys have a great rest of the day or night. I will see you back in the group, and if you have any more questions, just leave a comment, and I'll pop back in and answer those.